Now, I know if you're not getting excited to do this problem, something's wrong with you, because this one looks like a great problem to be able to work on. So we have a complex fraction. And remember, when simplifying complex fractions, we got to get rid of our fractions in our numerator and our denominator. Now, one thing we could do is we can multiply everything by our LCD of every single denominator, and then that will eliminate our fraction. That's possibly one way we could do. The other way we can do is when we have multiple fractions, either in our numerator or denominator, we can find the LCD, get them to have common denominators, and then combine them. And then we'll have a single fraction in the numerator and denominator, and we can multiply by the reciprocal to eliminate all of our extra fractions. So before we get to a point like that, though, we need to look at this and say, all right, always where can I simplify my problem as much as possibly I can? So I look at this and I say, all right, in this denominator, I have an expression I can simplify. And here I have a trinomial that I want to see if I can simplify. Now, the reason why I know I can simplify this is because I see that they both share a 3. So what I'll do is I'll just write this over here. So if I have 3x squared minus 3, I know I can factor out a 3, which will give me x squared minus 1. Now, x squared minus 1, we notice that's also a difference of two squares. So I can rewrite that again as x minus 1 times x plus 1. All right? So that's very understanding, our common factoring techniques and really realizing our difference of two squares. Now let's go and take a look at our trinomial. So I have x squared minus 3x minus 4. Remember, what we want to do is determine what two values multiply to give us negative 4, but then add to give us negative 3. And this can be multiplied by x minus 4 times x plus 1. All right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rewrite these two denominators in our factored form. Okay, and then over here I have x minus 4 times x plus 1. OK, so now what we need to do is we need to find our common denominators of these two fractions. Well, we notice they both share an x plus 1. However, this one has an x minus 4, so we can say our LCD is going to be x minus 4 times x plus 1, just for our fractions in our denominator. So therefore, now I need to multiply. This already has my LCD. So over here, I need to multiply by x minus 4. OK, and then I simplify this. And I'm just going to kind of work this way again. By simplifying this, I'll have my numerator is going to stay the same. All right, but then now in my denominator, I'll apply distributive property here. And then also notice this negative sign. I need to make sure I just apply distributive property there. So therefore, I'll have 5x minus 20 minus x minus 4 all over x minus 4 times x plus 1. All right, so now I see that I have some terms I can combine. So I'll do this one more time as 1 over 3 times x minus 1 times x plus 1 divided by, here I'm going to have 4x minus 24 over x minus 4 times x plus 1. OK, so the whole purpose of this is you can see that now what I did is I combined these two fractions into one simple fraction. Now I can multiply by multiply by the reciprocal of this fraction to the top and the bottom to eliminate my fractions in both the numerator and the denominator. Before I do that, though, I am going to want to simplify that numerator right there. So therefore, I have 1 over 3 times x minus 1 times x plus 1 divided by, simplified form would be 4 times x minus 6 divided by x minus 4 times x plus 1. So now I multiply by the reciprocal, which will be x minus 4 times x plus 1 all over 4 times x minus 6. And remember, we do that in the numerator, and we do that in the denominator. Okay? And by doing that, what we notice is, remember, whenever you take a fraction and multiply by its reciprocal, that multiplies out to 1. But then we look at and up here in our numerator, we know that this x plus 1. So notice everything is being multiplied by addition. So we can divide out across, everything is being multiplied by each other. So we can divide out across this multiplication because the addition and subtraction are contained within the parentheses. So my x plus 1s, those are going to divide out to 1. And therefore, I'm going to leave me with a final answer of x minus 4 divided by 4 times 3 is 12 And then we have an x minus 1 and an x minus 6. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your final answer on how to simplify complex fractions. Thanks.